the last 2 weeks.
They're so efficient in these playoff games. Kansas City.
1st and 10. Hunt again, slips through, goes all the way for the touchdown. Kareem Hunt. The stadium has been in existence since 1972. From the goal line, here comes the run back. Remigio at the big 63-yarder to open last week's game. He tried to hurdle for a moment. On 2nd and 10. Mahomes has to slide away from it and take off. He's going to scramble for a first down. Picks up 12. It's Hunt. He's been running like a rookie. The rookie in Hunt who led the league in rushing.
He's got to come up big today for them to win.
And 1st and 10. Ball is knocked out of his hands. He's able to scoop it up. Dana was the one who wrapped him up and took the ball.
Otherwise, they're trying to draw him off sides.
Yeah, they're going for it. Here's Mahomes rolling out. It's wide open over there, and he slides for the first down. They had both Pacheco and Hunt in the backfield.
Of Buffalo's on him, and he doesn't have any safety help right now. He's way over there.
From the 11, first down. Pass, worthy, touchdown. Touchdown, Kansas City. Martin punted one time for 56. This one travels 45. Remigio able to shake off the first tackle. Boy, he's some returner, this kid. There he goes down the sideline. Remigio still on his feet. And finally clobbered from behind by Williams. But that's a 44-yard run back after a 45-yard punt.
On Kelsey. Someone's got to pop out now.
Mahomes is looking that way, breaking down, able to get rid of it. And somehow, at the end, I think the Bills, no, they're going to say Worthy has possession. We got a flag down, but this is a catch by Worthy. Rolling, Mahomes, he can keep it, he can get there. He's in for the touchdown. Davis tiptoeing through traffic, and the ball was loose. I think he fell on it, the rookie.
Are they actually going to run a play?
Over the top. This time he said, forget about that left side. Oh, he might have lost the football at the end of that as he dove over the top.
I mean, this is absolutely huge, and Josh kept it.
2nd and 3. Down the middle. He's got an open man. Breaking a tackle. It's Smith-Schuster with his second big catch and run of the night.
The quarterback's at the top of the mountain.
1st and goal. Mahomes still has it. To the 5. And in for the touchdown. And his worst pass of the night is on the spike attempt.
Here or right over here?
Mahomes looking right side. Pressure up top. Back in the end zone. Watson with the catch. And Kansas City goes up 7.
Notion player, that's because it's really Kelsey. He used to kill them in zone.
2nd and 7. Traffic gets it away. Worthy the speedster. Down to the 10-yard line.
This is your time, Josh Allen.
And 3 timeouts. First play is a negative play, a loss of 1. Wharton got to him first. They crashed across the line.
Take a minute for Nike to put their stuff out.
Can Mahomes do it? Got the P-Ryan. P-Ryan makes the move around Bernard, and that will clinch it.
Hey! Welcome to our last Victory Monday pre-Super Bowl. That's right, people. Victory Monday as the Chiefs. What? Breaking news. Josh Allen is 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. We'll talk all about that. We'll talk about the NFC Championship game, which was crazy. And we'll talk about the stats. We'll talk about heading to Super Bowl licks. That's Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, Louisiana on the 9th of February. And we'll ask Q some of the best spots to grab some beignets and some other local favorites because he knows all of them. And trust me.
Maybe not all of them because I don't know New Orleans post-Katrina like that.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is a thing.
Yeah.
But I do know this. You can still get some of the best home-cooked Louisiana type fare at gas stations.
Yes.
So,
yes. Especially around downtown. And it'll
downtown.
be in the hood. It's going to look a little like Prospect.
That's how you know it's made with love.
But that's how you know that sandwich shop because you're going to see people pulling up and pulling in real quick because it's probably going to be a daiquiri shop near. Yeah.
And for those of you, don't just let anybody sell you a po' boy. We'll get into all of that. But, man, you're going to find the best. Just like you like going to the gas stations here and getting your chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just imagine that on 10.
Pulling up on the walkie-talkie or whatever it is. And then, they have those there too.
Oh, yep, they do. But we'll talk all of that.
That's more a New York thing, though, and they just brought it here. It's weird.
Of course.
Well, that's how it goes. Welcome to the 6th season of the Red Hour. Once again, it is our annual championship run to the Super Bowl. And man, what a game. I'm Sean Tyler. I'm your host. To my left, as always, check his pockets because I'm sure he made some money on some parlays. The one, the only, Darren Smith.
What's going on, man? I take it you feel sorry for Josh Allen?
Do I feel sorry for Josh Allen?
Yes.
Why would I feel sorry for Josh Allen?
Because the rest of the media was making it seem like America was rooting for the Buffalo Bills to knock out the Chiefs. And I'm like,
Sean Tyler opened up with a shanking. Like it was a subtle shanking on Josh Allen.
Josh. But we'll get into all that.
I'm
but
glad he lost, so,
I feel nothing for Josh Allen.
I did not want to be covering a Buffalo Super Bowl, so I am so grateful.
And I'll tell you why that won't happen in your lifetime.
I'm with it.
Especially not with Josh Allen at quarterback. All right, to my right, nephew Steve Walls.
What's up?
You should be really happy.
Why?
Your team got a new coach today. You didn't know, Q?
Andy Reid, he's still there. I don't know.
No, there's a Schottenheimer in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
People are so excited. Like he said what he was supposed to say to get people.
Somebody
excited.
told me that Jerry Jones cried at the press conference.
He always crying.
I know I was crying because your dumbass hired a Schottenheimer to be the head coach. So
Yeah.
Did you shed a tear?
I did. I'm still kind of wiping my tears away.
You should be dry because you've probably been crying since week 8.
Me too. I know. Nah, I got a new team next year I'm going with. Y'all learn. Y'all gonna learn.
Hey,
who's it gonna be? The Cowboys in Dallas?
The Giants?
Make sure you clip that now.
I got a new team I'm going with.
I'm gonna say that one.
One of those New York teams?
Don't even worry. Nah,
Because they got plenty of room on their bandwagon.
Don't worry, I got something for y'all.
All right, that's
He
what's
got
up.
something in the tuck.
No diddy. On the far end of the table, ladies and gentlemen, the man who is super excited because he's waiting to say, I told you so.
No,
You not?
I told y'all last week.
You told us what?
All right, that's DJ Q.
I think Q learned his lesson though from the first matchup of these Chiefs and Eagles. Because Q was hype. We was in there. It was, they come out to what's the song?
What did they come out to?
That was when they
the Lil Uzi.
Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah.
I look at Q and my heart just dropped. I was like, man, they about to lose this
Steve
game.
was nervous.
They came out to that, and then
nervous.
the Chiefs come out to the Chiefs and Chopper. I'm like, oh man, they about to lose this. I'm sorry, they about to lose it.
They played the Price Chopper theme song.
I'm telling you, you hear the drums going.
Yeah.
I look at Q looking at me like,
Well, turns out that's all they needed.
I know. But then I gathered myself real quick, and then we rode them boys.
It just felt.
We won that Super Bowl.
It felt familiar because in Tampa Bay, I was on Steve from the time we walked in the door, and Steve was trying to play cool and all of this. And it fell apart in the second quarter.
We didn't have much to work with on that Super Bowl, and it was Tom Brady. no.
Mhm.
All right, folks. So check this out. I just want to say that from henceforward, when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever you go to get your hot wings, they are no longer called Buffalo Wings. So until the Buffalo Bills can beat Kansas City in the postseason, they're spicy KC wings. We have taken the rights for the naming of Buffalo Wings.
Okay.
So henceforward, when you order some, like, yes, can I get a order of mild KC wings, please? And if they look at you stunned, just remind them. Just pull up your phone. There's an app. The copyright papers are now dry.
Do you know people shoot?
If they shooting up
These
a
days?
Buffalo Wings, you're getting your food from the wrong spot, period.
Because if you go to Buffalo and asking for spicy KC wings, I feel like somebody's going to start shooting.
Nah, not in Buffalo.
So, one,
Okay.
why would you
Not
go to
in
Buffalo?
You might throw
Okay.
some snowballs at you, but you ain't gonna get shot.
Okay.
Why would you go to Buffalo?
You know,
Buffalo's
And
the spot.
listen, they can't be too defensive in Buffalo. Boom, psst. All right, so so Josh Allen is now 0-4 in the postseason against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. No matter how much sports media wanted to go on this tangent about this was a special Buffalo team, they did everything right. This is his MVP season, not only for the league, but for the Super Bowl. There's no way Josh Allen can lose to the Kansas City Chiefs for a fourth time in the postseason, no matter where they play. It is happening for Josh Allen. And yes, it did happen for Josh Allen again for the fourth time in the postseason.
and I'm not a Josh Allen guy, but even to shoot him some bail, wasn't Peyton Manning like 0-6 before he finally beat Tom Brady? It was like, it probably wasn't 0-6, but I know he lost at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Until
It was up there.
until he turned the corner, at some point. But it took it took
Quite
all
a
of
few
that.
seasons, yeah.
But also, Josh Allen is not Peyton Manning.
And Josh Allen is going to make a turn at some point to the left, back to the parking lot, to their team bus to go back to Buffalo.
But you bring up Peyton Manning, he ended up having some squads though too.
Well,
Like, he had
and that's
some
what
Hall of Famers on his teams.
the talent was always there with Peyton. And with Peyton, they tried to do the same thing with the kid that came to the Colts right after him, retired early, Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
They tried to do it with him. He didn't quite turn the corner before he retired. And now Josh Allen is kind of getting that treatment. Like, the talent is there, the big arm, big quarterback, being able to be the dual threat. But
Josh
he just
Allen
doesn't have the clutch gene.
He ain't played with no Hall of Famers either. Like, you talking about giving him a little bit of bail, give him some grace, but he hasn't played with anybody like, Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison, had what was the
I mean,
guy
they
with
helped.
the grill,
They
goatees,
grew with each other though.
Yeah.
Adrian James.
Adrian James.
Adrian James,
Yeah,
And the
they
other
all
one.
grew with each
Yeah,
other.
Marshall Faulk, too.
Marshall
Faulk.
Faulk. Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, he
had
had
some guys, and then of course Tom Brady had everybody. So
somewhere
Patrick does too.
somewhere along the way from the middle of the season to yesterday, they have been calling Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar James, and Patrick Mahomes the Big Four.
I don't know why.
I don't either. And with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, the last 3 seasons combined, 38,984 total yards, 321 total touchdowns over the last 3 seasons. They were 96 for 42 wins and losses, 6 Pro Bowl appearances, 8 playoff wins. How many Super Bowl appearances? Not a damn one. Patrick Mahomes.
Well, Joe had one.
Yeah, Joe had one.
No, that was before. That was
before.
Okay.
Oh, because
Yeah.
you said the last 2
No,
seasons.
the last 3.
Last 3 seasons.
Oh,
Last
dang,
3
it's
seasons,
been that
Patrick
long.
is in
Yes.
all
Yeah.
their seasons
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
championship round.
Yeah. So Patrick Mahomes, regardless of what this season looked like, regardless of what last season looked like, is something super special. And another stat that I found super interesting from this past weekend is that to win the AFC Championship this year, Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, and DeAndre Hopkins combined for 65 yards and 0 touchdowns, and they still defeated the Buffalo Bills.
It's funny because a lot of people really don't remember that. What was it, like the 04 to like 08 run of the Patriots, where they were very because I feel like it was right before Randy Moss, but they were just very like ho-hum as a team, but they still won.
Very mid.
And that's what this Chiefs team looks like. You know, very stout on defense when they had the Teddy Brewskis and I forget the DN, the black guy on DN that they had that was like really good. But they were just a well-rounded team. They had the Wes Welker that could catch the ball in traffic. And the Chiefs kind of have that same swagger. And I think I said it at the beginning of the season, like this is a team that's disciplined. And you see it through and through from the time they walk into the stadium to the time they leave the stadium, and they don't have to do all of the rah-rah and all of this because it's like we just gonna do it on the field, and y'all are gonna blow a gasket trying to keep up, and we just gonna if we get the last possession, we're winning the game.
Our homie Nick Wright said that those 16-17 games was just rehearsal.
That's all it was.
It was just rehearsal for this Chiefs team. There was complaints about not scoring over 30 points, not doing this, not doing that, but it wasn't necessary. You did exactly what you needed to do, and you finally scored 32 points.
That's being greedy.
That's exactly
burning unnecessary gas.
Exactly.
Burning unnecessary gas. Patrick Mahomes was 18 for 26, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 turnover.
Yeah, efficient. That's what you can. That's all you can say.
It was a difference maker.
It was. That's allowed him to come back.
It should have been a blowout, and ended up being what it turned out to be.
Damn read option. It's like, man, just hand the ball off to Pacheco. Let him go. Let him work. Pat trying to keep it. I'm like, come on, man.
And in true Chiefs fashion, it turned out to be a so what moment. Josh Allen, 22 for 34, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He didn't turn the ball over, though.
He did not turn the ball over, but they had moments where the ball could have been easily put into the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it was bobbled, it was moved.
Yeah.
And then we've been very critical. Some of us have been very critical of Spags and his defense. But in games like this, when that bat signal goes up, Sack Nation shows up and shows out.
And it's funny, like, even looking at the game, like, Xavier Worthy is like the workhorse wide receiver. Like he's the kid that you let him play all day so that when the adults is ready to have fun, he's going to sleep.
He's going to pass.
But
out.
but he was just doing a lot. And I don't know if the Bills were expecting that or if that's just what was open and the Chiefs were just taking what they were given. And I think that's what it was.
Expected because, he was going up against his old squad. Yeah. So they knew there was going to be some payback or something. I mean, he was 16 yards rushing, 85 yards receiving, and a touchdown.
And you got to remember they had a rookie corner or safety in there. Then
they tested it.
Their corner goes down due to concussion. And now it's like if you try to take away Travis Kelce, then you still got to worry about DeAndre Hopkins. You still got to worry about
because Juju showed up
exactly.
in the right time.
They were playing this. They're playing this cover 2. They were playing this like cover 2, like shell zone type coverage, and then they'll go to cover 1, and I'm like, why are y'all going to cover 1? Because you're leaving Hollywood Brown wide open. I mean, not wide open, but 1-on-1 with the rookie. It's like, come on, man, y'all. It was bad coaching all the way around.
They were believing the narrative that has been pushed all season that this guy isn't doing what we expected him to do when he came in, and this guy wasn't doing, and this guy doesn't have the reps, and he hasn't worked with Mahomes. So they were believing instead of really paying attention to what this squad could do. And again, this is the Chiefs team we've been waiting to see all year, -1. So, Darren, I asked this of you first. What is the biggest surprise and or takeaway from yesterday's game for you?
That it should have been a blowout and it ended up being much closer than what it should have been. And we, if the ball bounces a different way in the second half, we're having a different conversation. I said it because when Patrick fumbled the football, they were in the red zone and on pace to score, would have taken the score up to 14-3. They do that. Now Buffalo's panicking. They might have to, throw the football, but you can do some things a little bit differently as it relates to calling the defense. You make a stand, or even if you just hold and they come back and score, they never proved that they could stop the Chiefs from scoring and getting to the end zone. Chiefs come back and score, and they would have had a chance to score at the end of the half and then come right back out and score in the third quarter and break the game wide open. So literally that fumble turned the entire game around on how it should have been. So just take care. At the end of the day, that was their first turnover in essentially 2 months. And
the statement that you just made could have been said about 10 games during the regular season. We did not see a different Chiefs team. The same modus operandi that they've had all season long. They took it in this game, and it's been working, and it worked again.
A lot of
That's
the
$2 word.
A lot of the because
but you're still wrong.
he did go to the Latin.
He did.
That wasn't the same team because that wasn't the team that we saw last week against Houston where they had trouble scoring. Yesterday's game, they literally were marching up and down the field scoring at will. They did, and they didn't do that against Houston.
And again, so the first statement you could say it about 9 or 10 games, and that statement you could say about the other games.
Right. But you asked me what was the difference.
Oh, I get it, but I'm just saying as a counter to what you're saying, it's been the Chiefs season.
Yeah. And it's really a bend but don't break attitude. And they do a good job of that because you never see them
panic
fighting to win a game. Like we see Lamar Jackson
panic
fighting, and I won't even say panicking. But you see that extra like grit that some people like, they add to the game. It's like Pacheco always runs like that, but some players kind of get that when you're in those games.
That's a good point. Because now that you said it, it's a difference.
And so you see the difference, and that's what I'm saying. Like there's a totally different swagger that you see, and it just goes to show that the years that y'all spent hating the Patriots was the years that Andy had to learn getting his ass kicked, and not necessarily getting his ass kicked, but getting his ass kicked from a sense of like clock management in certain Super Bowls. Like the first time he faced Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb, it was a clock management issue, but also Donovan McNabb throwing up and all the little craziness. And
the right play calls, the difference between zone and man, and doing it at the wrong moments
and
all the time.
And that's the way this Chiefs team is built now. Like they're built to withstand whatever strategy you want to throw at us.
And the only reason I use the word panic is because especially with the guys that they were saying are members of the Big Four, when they're down and they know they're facing Patrick Mahomes, the look on their face screams panic because they divert from their regular game plan that got them to where they are.
It's like the old crap look.
So you don't give the ball to Derrick Henry anymore. You're like, I have to do this. I have to put the ball in my hand.
Josh had that look on his face late in the fourth quarter. He was sitting on the bench just like he just knew what was happening when they got the ball.
So funny you should say that because I had a conversation with Nephew here before the show started. They were showing, and Tony Romo, some of these sportscasters have to know when could you be a little bit more impartial, please? They showed Josh Allen on the bench shaking his head like no and talking to somebody, and Tony Romo goes, see, there's that look. That's that Josh Allen. I'm about to come back and put this on my back and win this game. Chiefs are about to go down. This is where it happens.
I love
that aged so well.
I love hearing moments like that because it gets deflated so fast. So with this game, the Chiefs once again history has already been made. Teams that have won back-to-back Super Bowls have never made it back to the Super Bowl for a third time to even try to get the three-peat.
So the Chiefs are already in the record books on that phase of it, but they have to finish it out. And that's all these guys have been talking about all year. It's like, yeah, you might be tired of us winning, whatever, but we're only here for one thing. We got the Lamar Hunt Trophy at home. Yeah. Now we want to bring the Lombardi back here.
Yep. And one thing we didn't mention though is Andy Reid. His coach, he's not going to be out coached. I think he dealt with that a little bit, and you probably know, being in Philly. You know, it was a clock management.
Y'all know.
Clock management. Yeah. I mean, and clock management.
5 offsides. Yeah. That was the last time.
Yeah. It was a clock management thing when he first got here, and it kind of came from, you know, when his time in Philly. And now it's like, man, I'm not going to be out coached no matter what. Come hell or high water. I've learned my lesson.
But the thing is when that was taking place, Eric Bieniemy was the OC, where you didn't have that clock management issue because Eric was in charge of that.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that he kind of learned. But I also think some of that too. Yeah, I think Eric Bieniemy definitely did instill like some. Yeah. Because do you think when Eric Bieniemy had the reins that he had the Chiefs run more? Because Andy's a 70-30 guy.
I mean, EB will tell you, like, I'm a running back. At heart, I'm a running back. I may be an offensive coordinator, but at heart, I'm a running back.
But he was also smart enough to know when to get away from it and throw the ball.
Yeah, sure.
And the biggest thing is, with the teams that we had, you could feel, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, now is the time where we need to kind of establish the run or whatever, and then there'd be times where you get, you know, certain times the ball can be like Steve was talking about last night, throw the ball down the field, kind of stress the defense, attack the defense, put them on his. That's something I think we talked about that Patrick didn't really do much last night, was throwing the ball deep to kind of at least put some pressure on the defense.
Yeah, he didn't. Why? He really didn't.
Why would you do that?
Well, no, just keep them honest.
You already know they have all of these weapons. Like, and I don't think it's.
But if you're not utilizing, again, I mean, if you look at it, Patrick's longest pass rate was 31 yards. Yeah. I mean, that's not that.
And a lot of that was yak.
Yeah.
And that's still going back to my point that I think y'all want y'all are thirsting for these big plays.
No, it's not a matter of thirst. It's a matter of letting the defense know that, hey, if you ain't careful, we're gonna hit you over the top. But
they know that already.
Right. And I was gonna say, it looks good on replay, but Patrick used the pass effectively yesterday. He knew that, all right, Travis being double teamed. They've got a man on D-Hop. Let me drop it to Worthy.
Yeah.
You saw him. If it was 10 yards or 15 yards, he got it right to where he needed to be. And you're watching these guys on defense scramble at that point because Patrick has become a master of scanning the field, looking for his rep. He's making his reps. He's doing it. And then, like, yesterday was the first time they had a designed run play for Patrick since the day he hurt his knee a few years ago.
And then what's his name? Tom Brady talked about it in last week's playoff game that he commentated. I think it was the Eagles game. And he talked about how, like, the Patriots got to a point where they were so good that their mentality was death by 1,000 cuts. So exactly, if I have to throw 4 3-yard passes, the fourth one is gonna get me 12 yards.
And Patrick's been kind of we talk about prisoner of the moment. He's been really a prisoner of that moment of, like, all right, I had Tyreek Hill and we was getting the, you know, air it out. Now it's like, we don't have that, or I didn't have that past couple years, but now it's like I got that, but I'm just going up. You dink it out to Travis up. I'm just gonna run out for 7 yards. I'm gonna dink it over the middle.
Because he could do the deep and he could also do the short. And I feel like teams now, they're still playing that deep threat, but you can't. Like, you can't play that deep threat because, again, you have to either double Travis or you have to cover all 5 of these wide receivers that are running out for a route. And it's very tough to do that. And again, the Chiefs don't want to score fast no more. They want to control the tempo of the game. They want you to play within what they're doing.
And it's funny you said that. I was going to ask y'all, I guess anybody can answer this, but do y'all feel like this is the most well-rounded that Andy Reid has called? I mean, we can say about Nagy, but we know Andy. I feel like it's the most well-rounded run in this pass ratio.
In this
era, I feel like the one from first Eagles that run because they higher scoring, but it was more efficient 2 years ago.
With the run was too?
With Pacheco, yeah.
Okay.
I like the balance that we have this season.
Yeah.
Because you're doing, like you said, you're not spending extra energy for no reason. You're doing exactly what you need to do.
No, because that's why everybody was calling Travis old. Because it's like he's not getting these, 200-yard, 250-yard game, weeks.
But we've also seen that he's been a much more efficient blocker when necessary this season.
The lead blocker.
Yeah.
A lot of them short yardage situations.
Absolutely.
He's been the lead blocker.
So there have been 4 playoff games all time where both quarterbacks combined for 400-plus passing yards, 80-plus rushing yards, 65% completions, 3 or more 25-plus yard completions, 5 total touchdowns, and no more than 1 turnover. And all 4 of those games were between these 2 quarterbacks when they were playing each other. So we heard about how evenly matched these 2 teams were. But when it comes to the mental portion of this Mahomes-Allen game, Patrick's going to always come out the winner because Josh Allen got spooked again.
I don't know if he got spooked. I think it was bad coaching. They didn't take points when they really needed to. And Sean McDermott, I feel like he's kicking himself, probably punching the air today because there's a lot of those 4th and 1s. Like, man, either go for the field goal, punt it, do something. But you've got to understand, like, there's the momentum swing wasn't really there. They were trying to play the momentum swing.
But you need touchdowns against the Chiefs.
And how many?
Not necessarily.
But how many times this season?
That's how they won last time.
Nah, just by the way that the Chiefs have been playing all season, you can, death by 1,000 cut it and kick a bunch of field goals and you can keep up.
But then you playing their game.
Right. I was going to say, but Sean and the Buffalo Bills have been playing the way they played all year. He's been letting Josh Allen control the tempo of the game and do what he does.
That was the difference between the game that they played earlier in the year because the Chiefs played their game, but Buffalo was scoring touchdowns.
Sometimes you got to play within the game too. Like, and I feel like
if
you got to take points because your offense wasn't click. Like,
are they that good of a team with a new wide receiving core?
And are they believing their own hype?
No, they're not that good of a team with a new wide receiving core.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's why you got to kick field goal.
No, because you have to score points. You have to score touchdowns to beat this team.
But the way they've been playing football all season, are they believing their own hype that we're just this good? And
I think
they've been praising Josh Allen because, oh my God, it's the almighty Josh Allen.
I think every team believes it. Everybody believes the hype until you're in that moment, 4th quarter, sitting on the bench, and you just staring. Because
somebody posted yesterday that everybody wants to be Patrick Mahomes until you're facing Patrick Mahomes, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
you want to claim to be the greatest until you stand in front of him.
And what I do give league wide is that guys are not afraid. Like we don't see these teams really like backing down. Like we see some terrible. We've seen some terrible Raiders teams. We've seen some terrible Jaguars teams. Like we've seen some terrible teams. But when it comes to if it's another marquee quarterback on the other side, he's probably going to play a really good game because he's got to outplay Patrick, but he's still going to end up losing.
But that's also
not afraid anymore.
Right.
Get it? I'm not afraid anymore.
But that's also the kryptonite because when you say, I'm playing Patrick Mahomes, I've got to out Patrick, and you can't.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take our first break of the evening, and we'll look and take some comments from online. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching us, and spread the word that, we still got one more show to go. But before we get there, did anybody else notice how much Sean resembles Megamind? I didn't know his head was that big. Sean McDermott's head, it's huge.
Megamind.
He got a 5'6" head.
What?
Because I'm watching his hat. I'm like, that is a really weird shaped hat. And then he took his hat off. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen it.
And I was like, oh, I better say that. He could probably receive what I. All right, we're going to take our first break and come back. We'll talk more about the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about the NFC matchup, and we'll talk about what this big moment in history could mean for Patrick Mahomes and the legacy that he's going to leave behind as a starting quarterback and for the Kansas City Chiefs. So be ready, because we're coming back. Season 6 is championship season of the Red Hour. Back in moments. Welcome back. Season 6 of the Red Hour, the championship edition, as the Chiefs are headed to make history for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Want to send a quick shout out to Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia. It's my new friend. And sending the peace sign minus the index finger to Adam Schefter. Did you see his tweet?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, well, let me read it for you.
Shout outs, I better shout my mom out because she's watching. She always send a text. So, hello, mother. We say hello to you.
So, this was before the championship round. Adam Schefter tweeted out, penalties during Chiefs' 8-game win streak in playoffs. Roughing the passer, Chiefs 0, opponents 6. Unnecessary roughness, Chiefs 1, opponents 4. He said, for all those complaining that Patrick Mahomes gets too many calls, relief soon could be on the way. The NFL replay assist is expected to expand this offseason into plays that could include the quarterback slide, league sources have told ESPN. Mm-hmm. Now,
what did he do wrong?
As a sportscaster that's supposed to be impartial, for him to tweet something like that, because it's been the narrative the last few games for the Kansas City Chiefs, is irresponsible, for lack of a better word.
It's like help is on the way.
Yeah. So
so he was rage baiting
or clickbait or whatever he was
on
trying
Twitter.
To do. Yeah.
I mean, that's what people do.
Yeah, but if you're a credible, like we look to Adam Schefter to give us the real and what's going on, when they're doing signings or that kind of stuff.
I mean, once Adam Schefter says it, it's kind of like solidified. But a lot of times, somebody else got the scoop before.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's like when Michael Jackson died, TMZ was all over, but I refused to believe TMZ until I got a credible.
Exactly.
And Adam Schefter's supposed to have been that credible, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to throw that out there, bird for Adam Schefter. Okay, so Super Bowl 59 is coming up in New Orleans.
Licks.
Super Bowl licks on February 9th.
And using that all the rest of these next 2 weeks.
As expected with the price of eggs and everything else, it's the most expensive in recent years.
Man.
So the lowest ticket price right now, $4,571 to attend and sit in the upper bowl at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, or is it the Rolex Dome still? What is it?
No, it's Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz. Okay. The highest suite ticket price right now, 31.
Caesars, actually.
Caesars Superdome.
Mercedes in Atlanta. Yeah. Mercedes in Atlanta.
$31,761.
Or where?
That's a suite level ticket.
How much?
$31,761.
Damn.
And it's only going to go up.
Which I think the suite level ticket come with.
I don't know, because I know that they were complaining about the suites in Vegas a few years ago because they were almost $75,000.
Darius said 4K ain't that bad.
What? It's not. 4K is not that bad. Watching it in 4K is absolutely amazing. You can see everything.
Yeah.
So I definitely hear you on that. So
yeah, if I'm $31,000 on a suite level, they better come with. I'm sitting next to Beyonce. I'm sitting with wings with the KC.
And usually you still have to order outside.
Yeah.
You have to order the food for the suite. So that's just you and your 8 to 10 guests.
Oh, so you get guests.
So it's not just you.
Oh, so we go in on it. We can go in on it then.
Yeah,
about $2,500 a piece. That's not bad
until you start adding in food and beverages.
Then it goes up from there.
Absolutely. Then you're probably looking at about $5,000 a piece.
Go Chicken Go with a Gates mixed plate and and a Pepsi.
Go Chicken Go doesn't travel well from Go Chicken Go to your house. I can't see it traveling well to New Orleans. So Q, I'll ask you this. The Chiefs are on the precipice of being considered the greatest NFL team of all time, about to do something that has never been done before. As a matter of fact, they have come closer than any other team in the NFL to this point, because any team that has won back-to-back Super Bowls had never made it back to the Super Bowl for that third attempt. But here we are with the Chiefs. What will winning this third in a row mean for a not yet 30 Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs franchise?
It puts them in the conversation.
Just puts them in the conversation.
I mean, yeah, you still have your Cowboys teams. You still have your Patriots teams.
You talking about the team, or are you talking about Pat?
Is this just
Pat and the Chiefs? What is this?
Yeah,
that's
what I thought. I thought this was about
the
team. No, because same for Patrick. It puts him in the conversation. I think there's people that would agree that he has to equal the amount of rings that Tom Brady has to be the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a Chiefs fan, that's probably hard to hear, but if if the Chiefs don't three-peat and then Lamar Jackson somehow three-peats, does that make him better than Patrick and Tom Brady?
You don't have that kind of time for.
And that's
Lamar
but that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I think it depends on who you talk to in these conversations.
But Lamar's never even been to the Super Bowl once.
No, yeah.
Well, he's been. I saw him in section 133.
No, because even when Patrick made his first Super Bowl, it was already talk about him being the baby GOAT. And then once he faced Tom Brady, then it was like
Billy, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like he's justly earned like the right to be in these conversations.
So even though Patrick Mahomes has done more as a QB in his 20s than Tom Brady has, and there was a 10-year period in Dallas where the most important part of their franchise that kept them making money was the cheerleaders.
I mean, you think about. I look at it like this. You got, and even in basketball terms, you got MJ, right? Who's going to always just be MJ, like the greatest basketball player of all time. And some people argue, Larry Bird, whoever. But now you've had to throw. He had to throw in an argument of Kobe. You had to throw in an argument of LeBron, and Kobe was the next one have the amount of rings. I'm not throwing Magic in there. Kobe was the next one to have the amount of rings. Is like, but he still ain't MJ. Like, he could be Kobe, but he's not the greatest basketball player of all time. Some people he is. I mean, depending on where you were born, but it's always going to be MJ.
And that's what I'm saying. Because now the argument for LeBron is that he made it to at least the conference finals. What was it? 11, 12, 13 times.
Yeah.
So you have that argument too. And
isn't that diluting the whole?
Nah. Because Patrick Mahomes winning 3 Super Bowls in a row, does that not dilute the conversation? Because Tom Brady has 7 rings.
Nobody's ever done that.
But he doesn't have 7 rings though.
But he's got 4, possibly in his 20s. Tom Brady did not.
The more interesting thing is, and even going back to that LeBron thing, it's like he has more basketball behind him than he does in front of him.
Yeah.
Where Pat is like, shoot, he wins this. he's going to not only be in the conversation, but there's a chance. I mean, he has 10 years left to play.
Yeah.
And so it's more of a chance for him too.
And maybe more because medical advancements, these guys are healing faster.
And I think that's why Tom ended up coming back, because he's like, okay, this young kid got a little something to him. Let me go get one more just to
solidify.
He got one more against that kid. So it was, yes, like it's a no-brainer. But yes, because he knows the conversation around sports.
Darren, what say you?
Comparing Patrick to who?
Not comparing Patrick to anybody, but if they win this three-peat, what does this do for the legacy of Patrick Mahomes and for the Kansas City Chiefs as a franchise?
Well, the Chiefs as a franchise will be considered, this will be the quote-unquote greatest dynasty or one of the greatest teams, because they would have done something that no other team in the history of the league has done since the Super Bowl era. For Patrick, it'll put him in a separate conversation, not only that Joe Montana doesn't enter into, but obviously he and Tom Brady. Again, he will be the only quarterback to have to win 3 in a row and have 4 total before the age of 30. And I can't remember how old Terry Bradshaw was, because I know he won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. During the 70s, but yeah, because he would have a chance to do that. And then of course, there would be no reason to not think that the Chiefs outside of Vegas would be the favorite to win 4 in a row if he were to do that. So,
and this moves us with the win on the 9th of February will move us to a 4th place tie with the Dallas Cowboys for the most Super Bowl wins. And again, with knock on wood, good health for Patrick Mahomes, he could do 10, 12 more years.
Well, it would also tie the 49ers, I think, as well.
Green Bay has 4 wins. Dallas has 5. San Francisco. Oh, yeah. They do have 5 as well. You're right.
Yeah, this would be
so that's a 3-way tie. Pittsburgh Steelers with 6 and the New England Patriots with 6.
And when you talk about just where the team ranks of all time, are we just talking about like ownership, front office? What are we talking?
Just the brand, the name, the team.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it's. I think that's already solidified.
You gotta, this is when you just look at when you just look at how the team is formed. I mean, you think about how Brett Veach and company has. I know me and Darren was watching the 2021 divisional against Chiefs Buffalo, and the 13-second game.
Right.
And we looked at the roster and we're like, man, only people that are on that roster that were playing yesterday was Patrick, Chris Jones, and
Travis
Kelce, and a couple of other guys. Yeah. But like, it was a brand new roster, and they were still like clicking from then, even 2019 to right now, and there was no drop off.
It literally hasn't stopped in 6 years.
Yeah. Even with the rotating.
Yeah, with the rotating, even with the rotating superstars. We saw without Tyreek Hill, which they thought we'd fall flat on our face, we win the Super Bowl.
And it's funny with all the kind of hatred that if you see on social media online as it relates to Brett Veach and how he's not a good GM. If you look at that draft class that he got after trading Tyreek Hill, literally every player from that draft class -1 is starting or contributed greatly to the team's success the last 3 seasons.
Not only that, the defense's success.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because a lot of those guys were on 7 of them defenders. Yeah.
So we make this a generational thing. Definitely, Patrick Mahomes is.
Oh yeah, no, there's nobody touching him in his generation. Like he's this generation's Tom Brady. Just like before Tom Brady, it was Joe Montana. Like it's
Terry Bradshaw.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a. It's
kind of hard to say he's this generation when they literally will cross.
I'm about to say what's the generation? Is that 30 years? Or 40 years.
I mean,
I think when you're talking sports, it kind of.
Well, I would give this generation because again, Tom Brady did it for 20 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, he literally won 2 Super Bowls during this Mahomes time period.
So, if we're talking this generation, we were in Tom Brady's era and Pat's.
So, no, yeah, and it's the same thing with Mike and Kobe. Like they overlapped. Yeah. Like
because
you're gonna, and I think that's the thing. You're gonna have some overlap, but when we looking at this generation of quarterbacks, it's Patrick. It's
Lamar.
Lamar.
Joe.
It's Joe.
Josh.
It's Josh. And then the field from there. Because there's hardly anybody that and
Wait.
selfish. No, and
so
that's
you just not gonna mention Drew Lock?
no, because selfishly, I was gonna enter in Jalen Hurts in that conversation. But you would also get some pushback from that. But
see, which is now that you bring that up, it's interesting that he's not in the Big Four because he's actually been to the big game.
This is
more than once.
This is the same, like just
There's
how
a big one and a middle three.
and I give you that.
Okay. Or even the middle four.
No, I give you
middle
that.
four.
But it's the just how Patrick and Tom Brady mirror. It's kind of the same thing with like Jalen and like Russell Wilson. Like you have all of this success very early, but people try to put it on the team versus you as the quarterback. And so it looks very different for you than it does at Patrick Mahomes. Like in 2 of 3 years starting, he's made Super Bowls. And that was the same thing that Russell it's the same thing that happened with Russell Wilson.
When was Jalen Hurts drafted?
20 was it 21 or 20?
He come in the year after Patrick.
Came in,
2 years after Patrick.
Sorry, 18 and 9. Man, we've been doing this for so long. I don't
19,
know
right? Was it 19?
I don't know.
It was 19.
Look, I'm about to go look.
Hey, Google.
Same year as Tua Tagovailoa, because they weren't there on the same squad together. And then
Well, because Jalen Hurts came out later because he also went to Oklahoma too. So
right.
My reason to ask is like they're around the same age, and just think about
he was drafted in 2020, so he came out in 19.
Yeah. Just think about how much more. I thought they were going to be in the same, era, or not era, but like within a year apart. But just think about how much more football Patrick has played. He seems older, doesn't it? I mean, just when we're talking about it, just seems older.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always said that since he started playing quarterback or starting. I mean, he, Chris Jones, Travis, a few other players have essentially played a full season of postseason football that equates to a full season of football for everybody else. So even though this is his 8th year on the team, he's essentially played 8 full seasons. Even though this is his 7th season that started, he's played 8 full seasons.
Yeah, because you think about the couple of just divisional and then Super Bowl, and then you got some wild cards.
Yeah,
and Super Bowl. Yes,
and just to show you how long Patrick has been playing as opposed to how long Tom Brady played, Patrick in this 6-year window, 17 playoff wins. Tom Brady in his career, 35.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
I just told you he did that for 20
years.
20 years. Like, that is crazy.
So before we take our next break, Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker will make NFL history as the first player ever to appear in 5+ Super Bowls before turning 30 years old. The only player other than Butker to do so is Patrick Mahomes. Those two.
Damn, I thought Harrison was older than that.
Yeah.
He ain't got to do nothing but make kicks.
Make them.
Only.
That's easier said than done.
Right, because we've seen a lot of missed extra points this season.
I mean, look, we looking at Lynn Elliott struggling to get over the hump in Philly.
I remember Nick Lowry.
Lamar Wallace says 31 other QBs are fighting and arguing for second. We are witnessing something great.
There's that. And arguing, and their fan bases.
And he has a Josh Allen avatar. As his profile pic.
You got to be a realist sometime.
Won't he do it?
Yeah.
We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're talking Super Bowl licks happening February 9th on Fox. It's coming up, and the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl against the team that they have played and beat already. We need to find out that stat.
What's that?
The one about the 49ers and the Eagles. Has any other quarterback or team faced the same two teams in the same 5-year span?
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I said the Cowboys.
Not the Cowboys, but I don't remember.
I don't know. Was it the Bills?
Yeah, remember when the Bills lost 4 in a row and they played the Cowboys twice back to back?
But two different
Two
teams.
different teams, though, because we played San Francisco twice and beat them twice.
But didn't the Cowboys play the Steelers in 2 different occasions too?
Yeah, that would have been.
I think.
Well,
Yeah.
but you think like the same
In the same 5-year
okay.
span. Yeah.
So it's been because they 2 49ers, 2 Eagles, and
Partridge in the Pear Tree. We'll be back. Season 6. It's championship season on the Red Hour. Back in moments. Welcome back. Championship season. Season 6 of the Red Hour. We're here getting ready for a possible history-making moment as the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl licks on the 9th of February, 2025. So, facing this team, you have who is more so the talk of the team than the quarterback, and that is the Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon is playing lights out football, and he has been all season long. Even though he's still not mentioned like he should be in the quest for the league MVP, he's still on the list.
Is he the Tyreek Hill of running backs, or is Tyreek Hill the wide receiver of Saquon Barkley's? the Saquon Barkley of wide receivers. Yeah.
I would say that Tyreek is the wide receiver of running backs.
Is the Saquon Barkley of wide receivers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
What he's put together after being like sent off to pasture by his former team is ridiculous.
It shows the stupidity of that organization,
because they didn't want to give him the money.
If I lived through seeing a human being like Adrian Peterson come back from an ACL in like 2.5 weeks, I'm not gonna give up on a human being like Saquon Barkley like that, and especially somebody with that kind of talent.
Okay, when it wasn't 2.5 weeks, I know. I hope you.
Okay, it was probably like 6 weeks.
But still,
it was 8 months. It was 8 months, but
it was the same season. Either way, whatever. It wasn't the same season. Okay, either way, it was a short window of time. So,
whoever decided to let Saquon go to another team just because he was running back and they didn't think running backs deserve that kind of money is the same dude that made Luther Vandross a villain in a movie.
Well, and it's tough. It's tough because teams like, you see a team like Pittsburgh do that with Le'Veon Bell. Like, we'll let him just kind of do his own thing. But also today we see Le'Veon Bell ain't got all his marbles.
Yeah, but I was going to say, but no one has come out of the fire like a phoenix unscathed the way Saquon has. I mean, he has risen far and above what he did for the Bills.
Yeah, but
I mean the Eagles.
Yeah, I liken that to again Adrian.
Now.
Yeah,
the team that let him go.
Yeah,
the Giants. Yeah.
The Giants. Giants.
But I liken that to like a Adrian Peterson. Like, man, you could have a comeback at that position, and the NFL
is it a comeback or more of a resurgence?
It's
Just
a
like
resurgence because
yes, that's a better word.
Because like he was hurt last year. They just didn't want to pay. They just didn't want to pay him because initially, before season before, I think he was starting to hold out, and they like guaranteed his year, like franchised him, but gave him more money last year, but then decided to let him walk.
But wasn't that the argument in the offseason that these star running backs are out here and teams just didn't want to give running backs?
No, they were like
they were all on the Zoom call last year trying to figure out a way if they had to hold out or something so they could get the money. And then we saw literally in the offseason the running backs were getting their money, and it paid off. It paid off for most of the players. I mean, Derrick Henry would have taken a discount to go to the Dallas Cowboys, and they never even gave him a call. And he lives in Dallas.
Yeah, he wanted to be at home.
Crazy, yeah. But I mean,
how you know where he live? Stalker.
Because he reads. That's where he goes. That's where he lives in the off season.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, there's no state tax down there. That's why a lot of players live down there.
Okay, I didn't.
But they also paid Daniel Jones too, and we need to.
Well, that was the thing. They franchise tagged him and paid Daniel Jones when it was like, why? I mean, everybody was like,
and that's what I'm saying.
Daniel Jones after like 15 touchdowns, not because you made a play, but you paid him because he produced 15 touchdowns and he got $80 million guaranteed out of you.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. Just talking about Saquon Barkley, the Chiefs are going to have a tough time on their hands dealing with Saquon. I'm just, he's a different type of runner, and you saw what Cook did yesterday.
So, star running backs throughout the Chiefs season were all held under 80 yards.
Who did they play that we could liken to this Philly run game?
Derrick Henry. And say it was game one.
He's not as fast.
But he gets the yards.
Yeah, he gets the yards, but also Derrick Henry, you could stonewall him.
That's a big dude.
It's a big dude, but you could definitely stonewall him.
And we saw Derrick Henry like stiff arm 5 people on his way.
I mean, but you think about the combination of running quarterback and a good running back. That's Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
I give you that.
I just also think about recently Josh Allen and Cook.
I can give you that too.
But I don't want to say that I'm not worried about this Philadelphia Eagles team.
You shouldn't. Yeah, don't act like it's not. It's a good team.
It's a really good team. I mean, hell, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Look, they put a 55. Now, Washington defense is not as good as Kansas City's, but as I was telling Steve, we were shocked today they wasn't a favorite going into next Sunday, Sunday in a couple of weeks, but they can beat the Chiefs. I mean, this is Saquon Barkley, and I'm gonna tell you what Travis told me last night about Kareem Hunt. He brings a totally different mindset to that Philadelphia Eagles team that they didn't have 2 years ago when they made the Super Bowl. I mean, so
you mean Saquon?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Saquon brings a different mentality than what that Eagles team had 2 years ago. The Eagles team were just like good, but he brings the physicality. I mean, it looked like he's finessed a lot because of some of his runs or whatever. But
he's a dog
jumping over backwards.
He's a every down dog.
And
his patience.
That one game where he literally jumped backwards, hurt over someone backwards. I mean that just put a spike into the energy into that team that we haven't seen in a minute.
And Saquon got so tired of running into the end zone yesterday. 2 cheerleaders scored, a parking lot attendant.
Yeah, because they pulled out Will Shipley from Clemson.
One of the owners came down. He got to run in.
100 too. I saw that.
Man,
3,800 for any time touchdown.
But we've seen this Philadelphia Eagles team in the Super Bowl before, and
this Philadelphia Eagles team is better on D-line.
Well,
they are, but I feel like it's gonna come down to coaching too.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Because Nick Sirianni, I mean,
he ain't all the way there.
We can't forget just 3 or 4 months ago when there was rumblings about the internal meltdown for Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. just because of the play calling, because things weren't going right. And I know for sure that Saquon Barkley helped out with a lot of that.
Yeah, I think that's.
But here's the one thing to that. Sirianni is pretty much just like the overseer, because if you stop and think about it, you got Kellen Moore's calling that offense and Vic Fangio's calling the defense. Sirianni, he just has to stay out the way and just let his coordinators do the thing, and that's essentially what he's been doing.
It's too close to Black History Month to be using that word. Overseas.
It is too close for that. That should be one of those words that's out of your.
It's too close to.
No, but I think he has a point there, because even with Jalen, like, if I could jump on again,
please jump on. No, Diddy.
Jalen hasn't had the same coordinator, so he's had to go through different coordinators in what is it? Was it 3 and 4 years?
Like,
it's either 3 or 4 in the last couple years.
Yeah.
And so again, that speaks to not only the talent of this team, but like the talent of him at quarterback, being able to lead that team with different schemes, like.
And it just so happens the winningest coach in Philadelphia Eagles history is now the winningest coach in Chiefs history.
Yes.
And just watching the game yesterday, comparing, I know the tush push is one of a kind, right? But we saw Buffalo try it plenty of times, and we saw
also
that
Josh Allen didn't fall forward.
Yeah, but Josh Allen is also strong. I feel like he's bigger and stronger than Jalen Hurts.
Yes,
so,
but
how much do you feel
didn't fall forward.
Listen. How much do you feel like the tush push is going to work against the Chiefs?
So the tush push for the Philadelphia Eagles is low and in.
Yeah,
that is not what
Buffalo was going over the top.
They were trying to go over and around.
Yeah, but I mean, it's essentially because they had a couple where Josh Allen was going.
We're not going to do a 1-for-1 with the Buffalo's tush push.
No, but
and
Jalen's knee is an issue right now.
Nah,
it is.
Nah.
Okay.
No.
So you think that was just a?
No, he hurt his knee. No.
I don't know what we're doing right now.
Just like Patrick's ankle wasn't a thing 2 years ago when they played.
But it was a thing. His ankle was in pain.
No, it wasn't his ankle. It was his knee. When they played.
It was his ankle.
Oh,
yeah. Because remember, he was limping all hard at media night, and then day of the game,
I didn't see him limping at media night.
You saw that because we were standing right by the door. You were there.
I didn't see none of that.
You were there.
So what do you say? Nah.
So word was that the Chiefs and the Bills were evenly matched. What are we looking at matchup wise with this Philadelphia Eagles team and these Chiefs on a quest for history?
I think
the Eagles have the edge at running back and maybe linebacker.
I don't know.
Would you say running back?
Because let Kareem tell it. Y'all sleeping on him. Let Kareem tell it. Y'all sleep. So
okay.
I don't know.
So is
they keep poking at Juju.
Okay,
We've seen what Juju
so
do
is that
in the
is that
Super Bowl.
Because it's not even a 1-for-1 with the two-headed monster versus Saquon.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't because we talked about that yesterday. Just comparison of rosters, and I'm like the 2-for-1 is.
Roster, but what I'm saying, okay, if we're betting on the game, we're gonna bet that Saquon Barkley is gonna have a better offensive day than Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco.
I would take that bet and say no, he won't.
Okay. I mean, we probably said the same thing about James Cook or whatever. James Cook ended up out rushing and more.
Yeah. But if I think sometimes, and you know how Spags is, if there's something that is a key and he has to key in on it, he's going to do exactly what we talked about. Bill Belichick used to do when he comes, take away what the teams do well.
And I like this conversation. So, who do you give the leg up at wide receiver?
I would say, what's the young guy? Little dude.
No, I'm saying between the Chiefs and the Eagles, who has a leg up at wide receiver?
I would say Chiefs. I would say Chiefs.
Easy.
I'd say Chiefs as well, only because
they got so many weapons.
The options are ridiculous.
And Hurts ain't really been throwing the ball. I mean, he might have did a little bit yesterday, but just in general, he hasn't really, been getting AJ and Devontae Smith involved.
Because it hurts.
Let's continue this. Keep going. Who else? Quarterback.
Come on now.
Patrick.
Okay. All right. Offensive line.
I mean, but Jalen outplayed him statistically
I was
last
lying.
time.
I say Eagles.
I say Eagles.
I say Eagles.
Well,
Defensive
man,
line.
man, because I mean, you got I mean,
I would say Eagles.
I say Eagles on.
Interior though, man, it's tough because I mean, interior I'd give it to the Chiefs. Tackle wise, I give it to the Eagles.
You said on O line.
O line, I give it to the Eagles.
Saying, but I'm saying if I'm going inside out, if I'm starting from center to guards, I'm giving it to the Chiefs because I think Trey Smith, Creed Humphreys, Joe Tooney, that's just a stronger unit. If I'm looking at the tackles.
I disagree.
I would give.
Because
I think the drop off is at tackle.
That's what I'm saying. I would give the tackle portion to the Eagles. I'm just saying from guard to guard, I would give it to the Chiefs.
So what about tight end?
Kelsey.
Okay. All right. I just want to know. All right. Go to defense. What about cornerbacks?
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay. Defensive line.
What about you? Who do you think?
I would say Chiefs. Yeah. What about defensive line?
I'm not even going. Just corners or secondary?
What would you say? Secondary. Secondary altogether.
I'm still going Chiefs.
I'm going Eagles.
Really? Okay.
The little the vanilla 2-pack that they got going on in the secondary. Hey,
shout out to Banana Pudding.
Hey,
let Justin Reed get a clean hit on Jalen Hurts, and I guarantee he's not coming.
Well, and that's the thing. I think like Justin Reed and Reed Blankenship are like a kind of like a 1-for-1 kind of thing, like because they both are very physical. They're not afraid to like play the run. Like I think it's a 1-for-1 there. Now D-line, I'm gonna selfishly say the Eagles. I think.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's I mean,
what?
Yeah.
Look, this is a good discussion. Because Chris Jones, Karlaftis, and
Chris Jones and Jalen, I think are 1-for-1 on that D-line. After that, I think everybody kind of.
Can we take a pause real quick?
What's that?
Croy said, in honor of being close to Black History Month, all I have to say is to Bills fans that John Young was the true inventor of Buffalo wings. Frank and Teresa Belismo stole his idea.
I don't even know that backstory. That one went over my head.
What just happened?
I don't. All right, so back to our regular schedule program. That was funny. What about linebackers?
The linebackers, I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
I think they're a lot deeper. And then missing Jacoby Dean, I think is
yeah, Lamar, that's crazy. That vanilla 2-pack is too much. You might want to coin that, put that on a t-shirt.
Oh, I've been trying to come up with a nickname for them all season.
Rob Abbott said, and here I thought chickens always had wings. Oh man,
The vanilla snack pack.
Nah, that little vanilla 2-pack
is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get our picks because you guys are going to be down there doing your thing on Radio Row, getting ready. And
you can join us. It's just going to be you that's not there.
I refuse to go down there for Super Bowls. It's just
come down for Monday night.
It's a madhouse that I don't want to be a part of.
I think you would love the Monday through Friday. I think once Friday hits, you'll get out of there. But
definitely don't stay for the game.
Yeah.
But the problem is if I go, I'll have to stay.
No, you don't.
Because if I go and I don't go for work, they're going to see me down there. There's going to be a problem.
No. You. I think me and you are like that. You don't want to see the game live.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
But I'm saying Tech is going to be there.
Yeah.
And I don't go because of that. So if I show up down there and I'm on Radio Row all week, then I'm going to have to work.
You got to do real work.
Then I'm going to be mad at you, Q.
Yeah. Because
we speaking the same language.
Because I can see how that would just get annoying because you got people pulling you left and right. Yeah.
He literally did 56 appearances and shows in 4 days in Vegas.
That's crazy.
That's popping your head in, doing Red Kingdom, taking some pictures, leaving, going cross town to do the same thing at another event, then hosting a party.
He chose to do that too, didn't he?
Huh?
He chose to do that too.
No, these are paid events. These are requested events.
Yeah.
I mean, Gronk's Beach Bash, and then we had to go on the way opposite end of town to do interview for some. It's nuts. I can't do it. I'm in my 20s. I'd have been all over that.
And then imagine doing all that and Steve's the driver.
Oh,
What's wrong with my driving?
You almost got apprehended in Canada. Who gets apprehended in Canada?
What's wrong with my driving? My driving is pristine.
See, we did almost get.
It wasn't because of me.
It was because of you. You was driving.
It
Across the wrong bridge.
Was it not?
Hey man, hey, people that watch it, my driving is great.
There's a reason why he's not Uber. And if you want to try him out, hit him up. I'll give you his number. You can have him on Uber
ride cross country. He's the guy to ride with. But
exactly. Don't disrespect my driving like that.
The border.
You are not gonna make it to the drive-through at Go Chicken Go.
My driving is good. All right, Q. I'm gonna remember that. Like, hey, I'm at the airport. What'd you say?
He can't even make proper car sounds, so you know his driving is
yeah.
Like, what just happened? All right, so Darren, Super Bowl licks. Who walks away the victor?
No, wait. Ask him that differently.
I was about to just no Diddy with you, man. I don't know where your mind is at.
Oh, and for the record, you're not allowed to call this a three-peat. That phrase has been copywritten
by the Bulls.
About Pat Riley.
By Pat Riley.
It don't matter.
It does when they send a cease and desist. Just like we're not supposed to
three-peat up in this. Yeah.
Just like we're not supposed to say Super Bowl either. The NFL does not take kindly. We have to call it the big game.
Next week.
Hey, but you know what though? Like, what we need to come up with something else.
Or Final Four. You can't say that either.
We gotta come up with something else.
Chiefs
3 in a row.
Chiefs Pete. Because they're going to be the first team in NFL history to do it.
Chiefs Pete.
Chiefs Pete.
Chiefs Pete.
Let's hurry up and put a patent
CP.
on that.
That sounds like something that requires ointment.
CP3.
CP3.
That one's already coined. As well.
It is
For real.
Keep digging. Let's table this discussion, and everybody can convene once again, and we do a little brainstorming.
As long as Steve's not driving us there, we'll get there. Who you got?
I got the Chiefs winning, man. I think it's this team has kind of struggled defensively with keeping the teams out of the end zone. I just think it's going to be a high scoring affair. So I could see another 38-35 game where the Chiefs, have the ball last and come back and win the game. So I got Kansas City walking away with a Chiefs Pete. Go from destiny to dynasty.
All right.
Wow.
Legal Eagle. That would be you, Q. You're the only Eagles fan.
Legal
Eagle.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
What?
He trying to fool us.
Wait. It's Steve's words.
I said this from week one. I'm going with the Chiefs because it's the same rule I had with Tom Brady. I don't pick against Tom Brady.
Hey man, even in that video you sent us, you were struggling with your words you was trying to.
Well, no, because I told y'all when I walked in week one, I was like, the way Philly showed up with this new offensive coordinator, I'm like, I don't know if they making it to the bowl, and so that's why I was thinking about the Packers, but I was like, you know what, my heart is telling me not to go away from Jalen.
I was the only one that had Chiefs Eagles without even blinking an eye.
Yeah, and that's just because they didn't pass the eye test the first couple of weeks, and that's been the story. They started out 2-2, and like that's the story. But no, I'm not picking against Patrick Mahomes in this bowl, and I would just like a pleasant surprise.
Okay.
Wow.
For my vanilla 2-pack.
For your vanilla 2. All right, nephew.
They said
they got a new coach. Get off his back.
Holy blank. Q going crazy, but go Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. The thing that worries me a lot is Saquon Barkley. But I feel like they can, neutralize that. And if you neutralize that, and it's kind of the same thing I said with Josh Allen, you have to make Saquon or Jalen Hurts beat you with his arm. Because if he gets out in space, I think he can kill you. But you've got to make him beat you with his arm. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago where Jalen Hurts only threw the ball 20 times. You're not going to beat too many teams, and I said that you're not going to beat too many teams throwing the ball 20 times. So
if
not too many good teams.
Yeah, but if Saquon is putting up 14 points, you might not have to throw more than 20 times.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Saquon is going to get his yards regardless. Just as the game goes on,
Yeah.
he's going to get his yards.
They're going to find a way to give him the ball.
He's going to do the same. The thing is, how do the Chiefs respond? And
Yeah.
how long does it take them to respond?
And I think that's my point, because I mean, everybody could be surprised, but if we're talking 1-for-1 and I'm going Spags versus Kellen Moore, I'm not picking a ladder in that.
I'll give you that.
So yeah, so I mean, I got the Chiefs. Like I said, I mean, you got to score first, because then if you can come out and do the same as what you did with Buffalo.
Well, they stopped Buffalo.
Yeah.
Open and drive.
Yeah, if you come out and do the same thing with Buffalo, you score first. Then it changes some things because then if the Chiefs are up, let's just say Chiefs are up 10-0, do you continue to run Saquon? Or does that turn? Okay, let's say how much is too much where you have to figure it out, like go with a different game plan?
How many shots is too much when Kobe's already missed 20? If you're 1 for 20, okay,
it's
this
not
is
1
Saquon.
for 1. Saquon isn't Kobe. Don't disrespect Kobe like that.
R.I.P.
Because that's all I'm gonna say. Because you're gonna make me get real disrespectful in here.
Kobe. But seriously though, like 14 points. If they go up 14-0, and I know that's a good problem to have, do you continue to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe this is a better question. How late into the game? Like say they're going up third quarter.
Your playmaker, you give them the ball.
Okay.
You just you're saying if the Chiefs are up 14.
If the Chiefs are up 14-0,
if the Chiefs are 14, you don't take the ball Saquon's hands. But what you do is, as an offensive coordinator, you put him in position, even if it's pass catching, you give him the ball on the outside or in the flats or something, to where he can challenge you in the open space.
And it's a game of chance, just like Tyreek Hill in 2019. Like, would you rather throw Tyreek Hill the deep ball, or would you rather give him that 5-yard crosser?
And it's funny that you bring up 2019, because this is kind of similar to, or not even 2019. It's kind of similar to the Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, that kind of game. You're gonna have to play similar. No,
I think the offensive weapons on this team are way better than both of those.
No way.
Both of those.
Okay.
Our offensive weapons.
No, I'm saying Eagles compared to the 49ers.
When the 49ers were rolling that year, talking McCaffrey, Debo, you had
the only thing shining out in this offense for the Eagles is Saquon.
Rolling. Yeah, Q.
And to an extent, Jason, it's funny we don't talk about it, but Jason Kelsey at center with that offensive line helped, because he was essentially the quarterback of that team.
Yeah, but the tight end that they
Goddard.
No, I'm talking for 49ers that year.
Kittle.
George Kittle. Nah, Q. This not that offense isn't. No,
definitely not.
And they had what's the other wide receiver that the 49ers had? Where's Mike when I need him?
Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Y'all can't even remember these fools' names.
I mean, no, what I'm saying.
Talk about them every day, and that was 2 Super Bowls ago.
That offense,
And that offense didn't have a Jalen Hurts. Period.
All right.
End of discussion.
Okay. That's your equalizer?
Do we have to say he outperformed Patrick statistically the last time they met? Like,
so let's see.
No. Because
statistically, Josh Allen made Patrick Mahomes look like
no. Because stats just mattered when he said he threw 20 passes.
And all I'm doing is I'm just comparing the roster from
and I'm not
20
and I'm
22?
I'm not going to say that either of those 49er teams were better than this Eagles team.
All right.
That's interesting. All right.
Stand on business. I say that the Chiefs lose the coin toss. Eagles score first, and they don't score as much as the game progresses. Patrick Mahomes got into the end zone twice yesterday, including on a QB run play that was called, and they haven't called for that in years. So he goes in his trick bag, and we see D-Hop, we see Hunt, we see Juju, we see Kelsey all get into the end zone. I see us hitting the end zone at least 6-7 times.
I hope that for y'all, because
6-7 times.
y'all been talking. Hold up. You just went on this tirade about 40 minutes ago about how this is the same Chiefs team, but now they're about to go outside of their skin.
They're going outside of their skin because they haven't. They have not. Patrick has not.
I really don't have an issue with what you're saying, because Steve and I talked about it yesterday. There is no tomorrow. I mean, like, if you haven't opened up the playbook, and if you were using quote unquote the excuse that we might see Buffalo in the AFC Championship game and that's when we're going to start showcasing stuff, okay, I get it. Because again, I go back to as we said at the beginning of the show, they literally could not be stopped from scoring. Like they were going up and down the field with ease against Buffalo. Now I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but you give Andy 2 weeks of preparation in the time. You know, we know what he does coming off a bye. And with 2 weeks with the Super Bowl, they've got nothing to lose. Like, players are not going to be coming back. And they are completely healthy going into the Super Bowl. I mean, Andy said that they didn't have any injuries. I
told you, Kelsey, Worthy, Hollywood, none of these people got more.
D-Hop.
They got 60, D-Hop, they got 65 yards combined, and none of them hit the end zone. And the Chiefs still beat the Bills.
What's Andy Reid and Vic Fangio's head-to-head?
I don't know. We had to see when he was a head coach. You know, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but
somebody tweeted it. I knew
you'd find it.
Us guys that read.
Oh, you in that category too now? All right.
And I found out AJ Brown was a journalism major, so
he was?
He absolutely was. So he's reading his own books.
Yeah.
So who wins in this head-to-head?
It's not a simple breakdown. It's a whole chart.
Wow.
But I think I'm interested in that now, leading up to the game. Because they've both been coaching a very long time. I'd like to see that head-to-head.
And we've seen Coach take on this team before, and like we've got all these weapons that some of them were minimally used, some of them were out most of the season. Now we've got everybody and we're rolling. I just see people yelling out plays from the bench like, "Hey, Coach, Frogger beats Pac-Man. Ooh, let's run that."
No, yeah, and I this could be a game that you pull out that, because even when you look at this Eagles team, the last time they won the Super Bowl was against a Tom Brady led team, and they had to pull out, the little trick plays. And we know
that Coach Reid is very, very conservative when it comes to play calling, but for some reason he always throws in a trick play or two in the Super Bowl. He goes in his bag, and I just see that this is going to be one of those times.
Wade Phillips said, "Poof, Chiefs ain't scoring 6-7 times. But what they will do is get about 3 touchdowns and a few field goals, and defense gonna come up, keep the Eagles under 200 yards, and they'll win by 3 to 7 points."
All right, Wade, we'll have this conversation on the 10th.
Darius said, "I think it comes down to
or
coaching."
The 11th, or whenever we do our last show, because we got to get a couple days in from detoxing.
And Lamar said Darren, his point is valid. Name a better coach with time to prepare than Andy.
Yeah, it's not many, and you've got Andy and Spags. Those are two, and that's why I'm saying I think I'm interested in this Vic Fangio head-to-head with
Spags and Reid. These analytics are everything to these two. Like, they will research to death.
And if you watched the game yesterday, you saw how, and we talked about this, you got to make Josh Allen beat you with his arm, and I feel like that's what Spags, that was his MO. He came into the game with that, and they stayed in their lanes, and they didn't blitz until it was time to go. Right, like stayed there, and that's why Jay looked like Josh Allen had forever in a day.
He got comfortable in thinking they weren't going to come at me.
They weren't going initially, and then they would, sing
that
the corner
blitz.
They would stay in their lanes, and then all right, cool, we locked them down. Let's go.
They let them think the neighbors was cool, and then they burned down their fence at the barbecue.
They're going to do exact same thing with, if not better, with this Eagles team.
And there it is, folks. All right, so we're a week away. Some change.
What is Dark Lord Magic? The Chiefs win. Dark Lord Magic will
just like y'all were. It was, what was it? The Virgin's blood in the fountain. They said it was the blood ritual.
Blood ritual. It's like, oh man, Buffalo don't even come. It's over with. They're using virgin blood in their fountains. All right, so unanimous. The Chiefs in victory again, getting the
Has it
Chiefs
ever
beat-
been unanimous before?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because
I don't want it to be
I think
unanimous.
the
I'm
winner
gonna
of the league,
change my
I mean,
pick.
Steve was the only one that picked New Orleans or Tampa Bay for some reason. That was going to be the Chiefs. I don't know where that came from, but
And he also
but I noticed everybody else has picked the Chiefs to win every week, so that would have essentially been them going undefeated.
he also picked the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl, so we don't really count his vote.
No, Q picked Pittsburgh.
Early I picked Pittsburgh.
But his team
I
actually
didn't-
made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Your team was out.
No,
in
he
week
talking about
10.
he talking about just in general.
He's
just
talking
regular-
about
regular
okay.
games.
He
I was
said,
gonna
yeah,
say.
no, because I picked against the Chiefs at least twice this season.
Yeah. But not much.
I had the Chargers too at one game too, didn't I? I think, didn't I? Yeah,
he was
I had the
dreaming.
Chargers and New Orleans.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, so there we go. I know we ain't all been undefeated. Now look at there.
All right, folks, that is going to do it for us. The next time we speak, we'll hopefully be talking about Chiefs Pete and history being made for this organization and putting Patrick Mahomes in the conversation as QC.
Oh, has Patrick Mahomes won a dome Super Bowl?
Yeah,
They were.
Isn't
I
Vegas
thought Arizona
like a
was
dome?
open.
No, Vegas.
Isn't
Oh,
Vegas
yeah,
like a dome?
Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah. Arrowhead
I
West.
thought Phoenix was open. I thought they left it open.
It's a dome, but
It's still a dome, even with the roof open.
Yeah, I thought it was open that night. I don't remember though.
Yeah.
Corey said,
I
"Y'all
don't
be
remember.
safe down there." And in the French Quarter, if a stranger asks about y'all shoes, just keep it moving. It's my size.
Do not go to the Popeyes outside the French Quarter. Don't do it.
Wade says, "Q Pat can win anywhere, buddy."
What?
He said, "Pat can win anywhere,
yeah,
buddy." He said, "Because he had one in the dome."
Yeah, I was just throwing something out there.
Bourbon Street gonna be lit.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, so do y'all think
When ain't
when we
Bourbon
get out
Street
of-
lit?
Do y'all think with with players such as D Hop and Kareem, because we talk about them having a little extra oomph because of the opportunity. Now that they've finally gotten here, do you think that they, and it's not easy to quantify, but do you think they give a little, you see a little extra oomph in their step and check,
I think like a D Hop. I think he's old enough that he's gonna play his game.
Yeah, but what about Kareem? Because Kareem,
Kareem for sure.
the
Because
regrets
he
had an effect.
yeah, that's what I think Kareem
360.
for sure. Because this is his team.
I think
basically.
D Hop will step it up a little extra too. He won't play
Yeah.
outside of his game, but he's definitely going to.
D Hop just trying to get a ring while he.
And that's why I think he is so thankful to this organization for what they've
Yeah.
allowed him to be able to do. That it'll show.
He gonna let Worthy do all the extra work.
And Juju's gonna show out again.
D Hop's gonna show up when they need a third day catch.
I think.
So if Patrick's on the football, if
I
Patrick's
think
on the ball,
Hollywood,
he'd be
and
okay.
even just talking to Hollywood yesterday, he said the first game that he was out there and he went blank, 0, no catches. He said that he was just trying to get his wind. It
Yeah.
really wasn't that big of a deal to him. But
Yeah.
yesterday it was.
Kadarius
Yeah.
Toney said he needs a ride to the airport.
All right.
That'll be an Uber ride I want to see. Put a GoPro up. All right, folks, we're out of here. Y'all be careful, be safe. It is going to be a beautiful week in Kansas City.
He said,
Watch
"Bring
those
the
cars.
beads."
Take down those
Hey.
damn Christmas lights.
we need to bring beads to New Orleans.
No, they have plenty.
Okay.
More than enough beats.
No, I'm just saying.
You'll earn
asking
your
for a
own beads,
friend.
nephew. You'll earn your own beads, nephew.
Nah, I've been to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Media party gonna be lit wherever they have it.
All right, folks, we are out of here.
That's
be
why
good
you
to
gotta
each
come
other.
with us, man.
I can't. That's too
Okay.
much work. Just if something interesting goes down, FaceTime me. It'll be like I'm there without the smell.
Oh my God.
No, because Bourbon Street does smell.
Oh my God.
It's terrible.
Bourbon Street, I want to throw away my shoes every time I leave Bourbon
It's,
Street.
yeah, it's terrible.
I want to no rats down there.
They ain't New York rats.
Oh, that part is
You
true.
running the rats. Going to Banish tomorrow. What you talking about?
Hey, man,
New Orleans rats
That doesn't
speak
even
with an
exist
accent. So
anymore.
they pay rent down there. They walk up and down the street like it's nobody's business.
New Orleans rats have their own route. We out of here. People be good to each other, and we'll see y'all after the Super Bowl. Super Bowl licks
Sometime in February.
sometime in February. That'll do Black History Month.
Oh yeah.
Two black quarterbacks at it again. All right, folks. We're out of here. It's the Red Hour. Peace.
The views and opinions expressed in the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.